Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Open Office Hours. I'm Crystal Hinkle, part of the team here at Syncro. I will let the rest of the team introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, it's Tatiana. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Brandy. Nice to see ya.
Hey everybody, it's Hannah. What's up?
We are very excited that it's Friday going into a holiday weekend for us. So all of those of you in the US celebrating the 4th of July, happy 4th of July weekend. But we are here for a full hour. Those of you that are joining Open Office Hours for the first time, welcome. We're so happy to have you. A couple things to just mention. We use the Q&A. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and drop it in there. What we use the chat for is essentially our way of communicating with you. So we will put links into the chat. So just make sure to click on those. They will go away once the session is ended. The other thing to note too is that we do record all of these. So if this is valuable to you and you want to look back at it, it is being recorded, as well as all of the other ones that we've done. So check out our YouTube channel. But yeah, the main thing is to use the Q&A. All questions are welcome. It really doesn't matter if you're just looking at Syncro for the first time and you have just really quick feature, do you do this, do you do that type questions, happy to answer those. If you're here to learn more about your specific workflow, this is your hour. We're happy to deep dive whatever we can with the time allotted. I see as more people flow into the room. We were worried. We were like, are we going to be alone in this open office hours today? But I see the crew. I see all the crew joining in. So that's awesome. Welcome everyone as you're continuing to join. So yeah, we're just going to watch the Q&A. It's the first person has to go. Okay, good. Someone was like, once the first Q&A goes in, they usually start flowing after that. So the other thing, if we're looking at a different screen, we're either looking at the Q&A or figuring out the answers. So it's not that we're not paying attention. I always like to say that. We're here, we're engaged. So go ahead, Brandy, you want to take it away?
Sure. I'm gonna do 2 of these. So Eric says, can you explain the purpose of why all incoming form submissions are called leads? So they aren't all considered leads. I think it's going to depend there on how you have things set up. Are you guys able to see me okay? It's a little blurry from what I see. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen real quickly. I'm going to go through a couple things since there aren't many questions. So first of all, in the admin section, you're going to want to set up your mailboxes. And what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that not everyone comes in as a lead. So a couple different things that I'm going to show you. One is I've got my inbound mailbox and I can say I always, never, or only for existing customers want to create tickets from leads. So of course I could say only for existing customers. And then I could send a lead autoresponder, ticket autoresponder. Next section is going to be in a customer page itself. Keep in mind, you could also do this through email rules, but without having to create an email rule for every single customer, I can actually edit a customer, toggle over to custom fields. Even if you've never created a custom field, you will have one by default. If you add their domain here, they will not come through as a lead. So what's going to happen is when they fill out that lead submission form, so maybe that looks like, let me just open up, I think, whoops, not there. Well, yeah, it looks like this. So this is essentially what it would look like. They fill out their information. Well, if it does match an existing customer, if that domain is the same or information is the same, then it will just log under that customer rather than creating a new lead. If not, the importance would be, wouldn't you want to capture anyone who could potentially be a new customer of yours? So if I'm in my lead section, I can see, okay, here's all my pending sales, what my potential could be, but I can also put them through like a sales funnel, right? I think it would be safe to say that if you guys sign up for a trial of Syncro, we would want to make sure that we're contacting you all on a regular basis as well to make sure we can keep in touch with you, answer any questions, make sure you're going through the cycle. So essentially the same exact way you would want to do so here. It just prevents anyone from slipping through the cracks, if you will. So hopefully that helps. And then if you have any more questions there, let me know. I also see one in here from Randy. Saved searches. Tried to set one up to check QuickBooks version, but the version number didn't work. Can you review? So I won't be able to review like the exact QuickBooks one, but I'm going to go through the saved asset searches because this is my absolute favorite feature in the entire system. So, well, okay, I take that back. It's like my second because you can do a lot with this. So your saved searches here, you can do a lot with. You can create you could run a script. So if you wanted to find everyone with a specific installed application, you could run a script if you needed to. Or found everyone with like RAM over 5, I could run a script. I could send a mass email. So great for upselling opportunities. I can look for everyone without antivirus. You could send a broadcast message. Everyone who has a certain version of an application, hey, please leave your device on tonight. I'm going to be doing some updates. And then you can build dynamically. So if you want to find everyone with a certain installed application, you can build dynamically. Now, in here, you can look for like a certain installed application version. If you don't want to do the specific version and you just have like the installed application, then you could do it here. From my understanding is that anything that would show up on the list of installed applications on a device, you'd be able to set up a search for. So I don't know, Randy, if you want to look at like your QuickBooks on that device or on a specific device, look for that version and maybe copy this and put it into a saved search and test that. That's what I would recommend doing. I hope that helps.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandy. I'm going to grab this one on the top here. I had to get some help from our local PSA expert. If you purchase a product and then complete the receiving process on the PO, it puts the item into inventory. Am I blurry? Why am I so blurry? How does this work for purchasing packs of items or buying items in bulk? If I purchase a pack of keyboards paying $75 for a pack, how do I then divide that into 10 inventory items for individual resale? So what I'm understanding is that you would have to manually divide the item into the individual products. There is not a way to split an item automatically. So I asked, do you just process the PO and then manually update the quantity? And the response was create the PO and split it out before receiving the item into inventory. That way you can split out the cost for each item as well. So their invoice says $75 for a quantity of 1 lot of 10 keyboards, but in the PO, they would add their keyboard product with a cost of $7.50 and individual quantity of 10. So hopefully that helps. That was a long answer, but I would rather just like read off of what someone's saying because that one's a tough one. The other one I was going to grab from Brianna, when running a script and then choosing script output, a new tab opens, which this is by design. But you're saying it's not loading, it's blank and a white screen shows up. Is there another way to see the script output? So I think you can see like a small amount of script output if you're in the script section and you look at like queued scripts, but I think I would really want you to write in to help because that should actually be populating with the script output. So if you could definitely reach out, that would be really helpful. And then the last one before I mute, the dashboard. Currently, the dashboard is not customizable. So being able to like take certain things out of that main dashboard, definitely on, the list of things that we continue to pass through, not customizable as of today.
That was super helpful. Thank you so much, Crystal. I'll grab the next 2 questions here. One is from Christopher. Says, I created a new event log query, but can't see where to add it to the event log policy for a new RMM alert. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys where to find these settings. So if you go to your more and into your policy section, they're going to look like this. If you have a fresh, brand new trial of Syncro, you will have these 4 examples built out for you. You can either use these or create your own policy. So I'm going to go ahead and click into the base package. Another way to navigate to where we're going is here through the policy modules and event log monitoring. So it'll get you to the same place. I'm going to click into the policy. scroll down to the event log policy alerts and open this in a new tab here. And so this is going to be where you build out your event log IDs in order to set this as a trigger for automated remediation, which is I think what you're talking about. So again, you have some presets built into here. Some of these just already kind of pull in multiple event IDs. Like if we were to edit this and expand it, it already has kind of just built out of the box some settings for you. Or if you wanted to create a fresh new one based on a specific use case scenario for that customer that you're trying to help, you can say new event log policy, click new event log query, and then you would enter the event ID here. You can fill out additional fields if you wanted to, but then go ahead and create the event log query and the policy here. So once this exists, you can now go to your alerts and your automated remediation through Syncro. And now that custom event log ID can serve as a trigger for automated remediation. So I feel like I for sure talk about this on every single demo because I understand the power that it holds to make life as easy as possible for you guys. And I feel like we talk about this at every open office hours as well. So you're probably very familiar with this, but this is where you can set a condition to say, here you go, here's the event. I only have presets, which is why mine are showing like this, but your new event log policy would list here. And you can say, I want this to serve as a trigger. So if this thing happens, I need Syncro to respond by running a script, clearing alert, converting to a ticket, emailing the customer, hey, we're aware of the problem, emailing the tech, posting the Slack Teams, sending somebody a text. Again, you just build those out as separate conditions here. And hopefully that is what you're looking for there. Please let me know if you need more clarity around that. I think there was a second question in here around the event viewer monitoring from Sean. So it just said I need a once over the event view monitoring. And so that would be what it is. And then the other second question from Sean says, does Syncro ID or other antivirus software, one of my customers uses AVG and we get alerts that there is no AV. Oh, okay. Okay, good question. Yeah, let me show you. So yes, it will pull in what is on the endpoint, even if we're not the ones that are actively monitoring it. So there we go. If we go to the specific endpoint here within the assets and RMM section, mine here I think is being monitored either by Bitdefender or MCSoft, but in your case, you should be able to, on the endpoint, tab over to antivirus. And again, mine is MCSoft, which is built out through Syncro, which is why you're able to see more recent activities. You're able to do a full scan, a quick scan. Again, the benefit of having built-in antivirus through Syncro. But if yours was AVG or anything else, it would just show like AVG installed. And that's basically it. So if you're getting some type of alerts and you know for sure that it is there, but you keep getting notifications or it's just not populating, please reach out to our support team so that they can troubleshoot that for you. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Tatiana. Question in here. So can your Splashtop integration support multiple live remote sessions at once? If so, how many? Yes. So completely unlimited concurrent sessions. You can be remoting into 50 different devices at once if you want to. Great question. And then Eric is asking, is there any DOMOTs to Syncro asset sync on the roadmap? So I don't know specifically what is synced, to be honest. I don't know if you have that connected or not. We do have a really great integration with DOMOTs though, for anyone who isn't aware. And it's great for network discovery and network deployment. We did a webinar with DOMOTs and I can absolutely, ticket and alerts only at this point. Okay, so I will drop the webinar in there, but I can also pass it along to our team. It's a fairly new integration. It's a very new integration actually. So, we're always looking at not only new integrations, but also bettering the ones that we have. And if there's anything that a developer can do on our side or their side and kind of make it a little bit more usable for you, then we'll pass that along for sure. I appreciate that.
Awesome. And Gabriel, we're following up to get the second part of your question regarding the purchase orders. So we will get back to you on that. We see it. Okay, yeah, no problem. So let's see, as we're waiting for more Q&A to come in. let's see, should I ask a random question? Hey, I have an idea, but I'm thinking that it's gonna like blow up the Q&A.
It could be fun. I feel like people are here for fun. It's Friday.
Okay, so how about in spirit of, barbecuing weekends and things like that, I'll let you in on a little team secret here. We have a longstanding debate. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And
Oh man, Crystal.
I cannot wait. Randy, I know you're going to come up with something. I already know. While everyone's contemplating their answers, I am going to answer a serious question here. Okay. Simon is asking any plans for other user license types that's more limited and cost less. So it's on the radar. I won't say it's like on the roadmap. It's definitely something that's been brought up to us previously. So we will add your vote to that. Couple things though, security groups, although that doesn't make it less expensive, it's more limited. So you can choose what people can see. You have like 253 things that you can see, but you can pick and choose what others can see. Works really great for co-managed IT, so you can absolutely do that. And then another thing is with our new Splashtop integration, or it's an integration, but it's a partnership too, because it's free for you. You can give your end users remote access to their own devices. So if they only needed to have access to, like if it was a co-managed situation and they just need to have access to devices and not like running scripts and things like that, you could also give them access to their own devices on a portal. But if they're internal and it's like billing or sales or something like that, today we don't have a limited user license like on the roadmap per se, but passing it along. Can't wait to see all these. Yeah, dispatch or data entry, sure, makes sense.
I'm going to grab this one real quick from Josh, just asking, are there more options for report customization and other than just what's in the executive summary report builder? So great question. Actually, I would really keep your eyes open. I'm hoping to say keep your eyes open for next week. We do have a really awesome report on the way. I think we did an announcement. I think there might be a deep dive video on this, but it's similar to the executive report builder, but it's an internal report builder. The goal really with all of our reports would be to use that executive report builder, that building block, and really like apply that to all of our reports. So absolutely, we want to kind of keep that going. That's basically the start of it. Mm-hmm.
I'll grab one from here. Ralph, I think this is a really cool request. He said, can we modify tabs customization within the security groups? We have some users that need to see invoicing contracts leads while others don't care about those. So I don't think there's a way to have like a custom layout of the tabs per technician, but if you restrict them from having access to invoicing or payments, they won't be able to see that information for sure there in the security groups.
I can take a couple in here. Simon's asking if there's any plans for a better dashboard. So it's definitely being talked about. I don't know necessarily a dashboard, but we're always looking to improve our product, and that doesn't just mean features, but the look and feel of it too. So for sure on the radar. And then Randy, yeah, so the vulnerable systems report no longer has the buttons to install patches. I noticed this too, and I wasn't sure if it was just on my account because we use the dev account or if it was on yours. So I have pinged our team and let them know too, because I know it's very useful. I'll let you know. I'll probably have an answer before this is over on where we are with that.
We did get an answer on Gabriel, the one of the adding the tax with the other charges for what you've been using. So just to reiterate, we've been using the other charges field to capture the cost of sales tax, but we've had to calculate the total tax charge manually and insert it in that field. Is there or could there be an easier way to automatically calculate the tax when the taxable item is added to the PO? So great question. I'm just going to share my screen just really quick to share where he's noting this. And so here in the purchase order detail, he's adding in the shipping price, but then having to add in the other charges. We did hear back from somebody on the team. And so right now there isn't just an easy way to have that tax be applied. The recommendation would be to apply the tax percentage to the items and just manually adjust the cost. There isn't going to be a way to just easily click a button to have that tax be applied to the cost. A lot of it has to do with different accounting and how the accounting is done for your specific company. But we will definitely pass that along as something of a future request.
Who's up? Is it me? I don't. I was gonna grab this one from Gabriel. It does not seem that you can currently use the barcode scanning function to search for serial number or individual part through the mobile app. Although you can use one to search through the web page. Is that in the works? I thought the barcode scan, like if you had a label or something printed out on a machine, I thought the mobile app that definitely scans the barcode. And like, I think it also for inventory items and things like that. So I think if that's not working, please reach out to help because it definitely should be working in the mobile app. Let's see, go ahead, Brandy. You have a couple?
Yeah, so let me just find, I did that one. Josh is asking, is there a way to add a pay now link in the invoice emails, or do they have to log into their client portal? So it does take them to the portal. So the pay now link that will show up in the invoice, it will take them to their portal to make a payment. That would be the only thing to do right now. And then, oh, that's not mine. Russ says on the software inventory report, it shows all software or a client's assets. Okay, it shows all software for a client's assets. Is there a report per asset that can be run? Good question. So right now, yes, that inventory report, I'm just going to open this so in case people don't know what it is, we can go through that. So reports, if I go to software inventory, this is going to show all inventory for that specific customer. What I would recommend doing, of course, you could go into an individual device to look at it, but you could also look for like, okay, if I need to find every device with that application, you could create that save search that we mentioned earlier. And so then if you needed to see, okay, all devices that have this specific installed application, you could drill down by customer as well. So I could click into just every device with Chrome and I could enter that customer's information. You could do it this way. Another thing is let me just double check this report for you. Asset activity audit. I'm going to do software installed. Let me just do Larry. And I'm going to say this quarter wouldn't work because it's a new quarter, which is crazy. Let me see if this one breaks it up, unless one of you guys knows off the top of your head. I can't recall if this one breaks it up by device. It does. So this isn't like an inventory report, but it will tell you if something was updated or installed or uninstalled, and then you can actually see the device from here. So you can filter this by asset or by customer. Hopefully that helps.
Awesome. I think I'm next. Mark, I'm getting a little bit of clarity to answer your question. So I did grab it, but I will come back to it when I have a good answer for you. So just letting you know, we do see that question. I have one from Ralph that I'm going to address. He says, can we go over patch management features? I've only done a base look at patching and it seems limited, but it might not be, and I'm just not seeing the details. So yes, we have some time today to really dive into this, and I'm going to take you on a tour here. So going back to the same policies section where you are adjusting all of your RMM settings in bulk, I'm going to click into the example base package, and again, there's multiple ways to get here, but this is my preference, and scroll down to your Windows Patch Management section through Syncro. I'm going to open this in a new tab. And in here, we are going to create a brand new Windows patch policy together. So this is usually how I like to think about it and how I see a lot of MSPs setting it up. So you could say on a daily basis, I want to allow, let's say, critical updates to run. This is on a daily basis, every single day, and this is how I want Syncro to respond if there is a reboot required. So what'll happen is if Windows releases anything critical any day, it will always be allowed to run. What happens to the ones that you've left blank here is that these will be blocked and they will filter in as missing into a couple different reports as well as individually on the per asset level. So I'm going to show you that next. If we go over to reports, missing patches by KB, as well as vulnerable systems reports. So this first one will show a list of KBs and across how many assets each one is missing. And again, we are working on kind of bringing back that feature of having a checkbox list here to where you can select multiple KBs and then push and install in bulk each individual KB for those assets that it's affecting, if that makes any sense. You can also schedule this report to run on a daily, weekly basis, however often that you want, letting you know, hey, here are all of the missing KBs. Maybe you're blocking them on purpose because you know they're going to break something. So that's the first report to take a look at the missing KBs. Second one is this vulnerable systems report. It's kind of the inverse of that first one. It instead shows you a list of assets and how many how many KBs each one is missing. So you can again run this on a schedule and just kind of keep an eye out on these numbers here. And so for me, I'm like, hold on, out of this list, this one's missing 15. What is happening? Let's click into that specific endpoint. And this is going to be the most granular view that you get. Again, mine looks like it's been offline since the beginning of the year. No problem. Let's wake on LAN. Let's try to fix the problem. Or again, this is going to be where you can see missing patches specific to this asset. And if needed, you can push them in bulk here. Also, any recently installed KBs with all the links are going to be listed here. So going back to us building out this daily patch policy together, again, critical updates will be allowed to run. Everything else will be blocked every single day. What you could do then is go back and create, or once you've saved this, go ahead and create a weekly or every other day or once a month, once every 2 weeks, whatever other patches that you want to be pushed on a different type of a schedule, you can set that up as a separate patch policy. So let's say for some reason you wanted these last 3 allowed to run on a weekly basis. So again, on a daily basis, these will be blocked. They're going to be listed as missing in these reports for you. And then when this day of the week that you specify here in the schedule comes around, it will allow those to go through. So somebody on a demo was like, oh, okay, so it's like a faucet. You're basically kind of like turning how much you want to allow to pass through. And that's, to me, was like a really good analogy for that. So again, once you build out your daily, weekly, monthly Windows patch schedules here, you then take these Windows patch management policies and apply it to this kind of umbrella setup that you have here. So you can say, yeah, daily, I want these to run, and I want these to run weekly as well. And again, that is how you would set that up. So we do hear you guys. We have had a lot of internal conversations around Windows patches, just because from our side, we hear this on demos with you guys. We hear this on open office hours. This is important. And so I'm excited to see the forward moving momentum that we are getting with the Windows patches more in the right direction of more granularity for being able to manage those for you guys.
Yeah, and that was really, really awesome, Tatiana. Thanks for going through that. There's a couple follow-up questions in here about patches, and Aaron's asking, is there a way to remove the drivers category from showing up on the machine's Windows patch tab? So the only thing, yeah, there's not a way to like remove a category. Those would all show up because that's done in your policies. We don't have anything to do with it outside of the policies.
You want to go, Brandy?
Yeah, I was just going to follow up. There's still a couple in here. Randy says, can you review patch notification for reboot? I've never seen it work on my internal machines, even though it's on. Is there some trick? I don't think I'm familiar with that. The patch notification for reboot. I don't know if you're referring to like the 4 options at the bottom of patching. Is that what you guys think? If so, I'll go through that. Yeah. Okay. So let me go through that real quickly. I just want to confirm if this is the wrong place. Please, please, please let us know. So in the policy section where Tatiana was showing this, let me just go down here, and I think I need to go up. Here we go. So there's 4 different options down here at the bottom, if that's what we're talking about. So this would be do not reboot. So you don't want to reboot. Forcefully reboot. So if you have that scheduled at 5 p.m. on a Friday night and you know nobody's going to be on the computer, you could just forcefully reboot. And then there's going to be 2 additional options. This one is going to basically put it in the hands of the user, give them the option. This one is going to say, I'm going to first give it over to my customer. And then if they don't choose, then I'm going to go ahead and forcefully do this at a certain time. So, or try at a certain time. So those are going to be your 4 options there. It just kind of depends on if, you know, the time of day that you're doing it too. You obviously don't want to disrupt an end user, and then you can put a message in here and then choose that time that you want it to reboot. If I'm missing anything, definitely chime in.
Okay, my turn. I was gonna grab, let me go to the top. Okay, Eric, feature requests. It would be nice to have a proxy to RDP connection for remote control as opposed to Splashtop. So I'm happy to pass it along. Within Syncro, again, you have the built-in Splashtop, you have built-in Syncro Live. You can integrate Screen Connect or TeamViewer still. I don't know of any immediate plans to, you know, add any other additional remote options. Just wanted to kind of address that one. And then the other one from Simon, just kind of asking for an update on backups and cloud storage. Absolutely. So I'm kind of keeping up on the product roadmap and just, you know, with everything that we've got working, we're actively just kind of like tightening this up, making sure, you know, we've taken care of any of bug fixes and that sort of thing. So we definitely, it's on the way. We know MSPs are really anxious and excited to have it. It's really going to be such an amazing built-in product. So when it comes to images, I do believe that when we relaunch, it won't include images, but that still is, you know, definitely on the roadmap to continue to enhance that feature as well. So just letting you know a little bit of an update on that. So hopefully, you know, keep your eyes and ears out. We'll keep you posted for sure.
I'm going to grab this one from Josh. Can you uninstall software from the installed software page, or do you have to make a script for that? Josh, you do have to make a script for it, but I just want to share with you one thing, that we do have the saved asset searches where you can do that really easily in bulk. So you can execute a new search, especially looking for maybe those devices that have that specific application installed. And then from there, once you execute that search, there's 2 ways that you can do it, and be careful with those 2 ways. You can select the ones that you would need from the search and then hit manage. When you hit run script, it'll tell you how many devices are going to get that script. So that's one way to do it. Another way is through actions and then run script. Now be careful here because you'll need to specify which devices that you want to have. And so you can actually run it against a particular saved search. And so if you've already saved that search, you can just go here and run it against that one. And so that would be my recommendation there. And then I have one more. This is from Ralph. Is there a way to set up test groups across clients? So currently there is not a way to set it up natively. You would need to go ahead and create a test policy and then apply that test policy to the devices that you want to be in that test group within that client. And so again, in the Assets and RMM tab, really easy to go ahead and select the ones that you want to change the policy to that test group, and then be able to hit manage and then change policy. But we do have something coming hopefully soon, and that's going to be policy inheritance. And so that will definitely help you create those test groups a little bit easier and then have you apply the test policies that way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah. I'll go next. Question coming back to Mark, your question. He says, hello, is there a way to get an alert and a ticket if a server goes offline, and then also close that ticket if the system comes back up after a few minutes? For example, like if the ISP went down for a few minutes. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you a couple different settings here. So back in, seems like the favorite section for today, just a policy. I've opened up the base package, scroll down a little bit and find your agent status notification, to where you can say, if this if this asset is offline for 1 minute, I want to keep knowing about it every single minute and keep reminding me over and over and over again that, hey, this is offline. You do have this button right here, auto resolve alert when clear, alert being the keyword, because again, every time the asset goes offline, obviously that's going to filter in an alert if you have that setting enabled in the policy. And from here, you have two options. You could either leave it as an alert and create a ticket manually from here, or if the asset does come back online and this button is selected here, it will clear all of those alerts that are related to that asset being offline. Again, it will not clear a ticket, if that makes sense. So there isn't a way to automatically resolve an alert and a ticket. So that's one way to think about it. Or if you were to set up an automated remediation, you could, instead of manually clicking this create ticket button, you could have Syncro automatically create the ticket for you. But again, that's just going to come down to personal preference. Maybe you can say, hey, if the agent is offline and it happens to this one VIP customer, Larry, then everything is on fire. I need to know about it immediately. Then for him, then yes, absolutely. I want to convert this into a ticket right away and set it to urgent priority and set it to whoever the manager is and send somebody a text. Like, I mean, it's up to you as the MSP. You know your customers best, you know your business practices best, but those would be the two options, is to, yes, automatically clear alert, but there isn't a way to automatically close the ticket at this time.
Awesome, thank you. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, so I was pausing, but if you guys see like an awkward, I'm muting, I'm over here like pushing my hand, that's what's going on. Samantha's asking if there's a way to prorate licenses and recurring invoicing. So using Syncro alone, we don't prorate like with invoices, but if you're using PAX 8, licenses purchased through PAX 8 would be prorated. So PAX 8 is awesome. If you guys are in an area where you can use that, in a country that you can use it, US, UK, use it. It's really, really awesome. And then let's just see here. So we also have a question in unmapped alerts from the RMM alerts. Is there a way to actually find or identify what the assets are that are triggering these alerts? There isn't any information that is useful to actually identify what these assets are. I'm going to sneeze. I did it. Okay, here we go. Only one time.
You.
I'm a one-timer.
Bless you.
I'm usually two. Thank you, guys. There isn't any information that is usually useful to actually identify what these alerts are that are triggering these alerts. These must be devices that are orphans and are lost. So kind of, yeah. So currently all alerts that are unmapped alerts are generated when an integration sends an alert and the alert isn't mapped to a specific asset. So you're right. An example of something like this would be if you had like installing Bitdefender on a machine that isn't an asset inside of Syncro, if that makes sense. So if an alert is sent from Gravity Zone, our system won't have an asset to map the alert to. So I don't know if you have like Gravity Zone connected and you have additional licenses in Gravity Zone that aren't attached to an asset inside of Syncro. But usually these unmapped alerts do come from just reading things I shouldn't read ahead, but yeah, it's just because there's no asset there. That's all for me.
I have one here from Eric. This is super interesting. I'm very, very curious and intrigued. He says, I just spent a few minutes with Ingram Cloud on getting an integration done. Let's make it happen. I love that. Okay, so real quick, we do integrations through Syncro are phenomenal. We take really great pride in our App Center because we want this to be like Syncro to be your source of truth. And most of our MSPs are running their entire business out of Syncro, including any other apps that you need specific to your business. A lot of them exist here in our App Center. So if you're new, definitely take a look. But I would say actually this list just keeps growing. I would say probably at least the last 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9 now is mission control. The last 9 have been built outside of Syncro. So if you guys have a specific app that you are using, you can ask I think that's exactly what happened with Hoodoo. I was hearing a lot about them on my demos, and I think all of you guys who currently use Hoodoo went to them and were like, please build an integration to Syncro, and they did. So again, most of these are built outside of Syncro and to us. So if there's something you guys want to see and hear, definitely reach out to those providers so that they can build out the integration. I haven't heard any specific plans around Ingram, but Pax8 is the one that we already do integrate with. So definitely, for those that don't know who they are, definitely check them out. They are wonderful.
I'm going to grab one. There was a question about that. If a ticket timer is kind of left running or kept going, is there a way to get an alert for it? There is not a built-out notification for that, but one awesome thing that you do have is the ability to see all your active timers here at the top. And so it's really nice and easy to not only click into the different tickets for the active timers, but you'll also have a separate view here that will show you those timers and then the ability to just stop all of them if you need to right away. For those notifications, just to bring those up, we always recommend to be going through those notification sets just because there's a lot of ways that Syncro can notify you. Sometimes it's too much, so that's okay. Come through here and specify which ones that you don't want on versus which ones you do. You can get notifications via email, SMS text message, in-app notifications pop up nicely here, mobile push for the mobile app, webhooks, and the Microsoft Teams integration. And you can even set up maybe noisy ones that you don't want to come directly to you to go to other emails. So you can have different types of notification sets. So if you just want an additional email to just kind of capture all of the maybe RMM alert ones or all of the separate ones and just an email, like if that's a catch-all, that then you can absolutely set that up as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Couple questions in here. I'm sorry, Josh, I have had this in here just sitting. I forgot I clicked on it. So first one is, can you review lead entry mode? And why does it bring up a box, bring up a start a new service ticket dialog box? So that's a great question. Lead entry mode is not meant to be something that you're manually entering leads. This would be more so if I go to my lead section, there's a lead entry mode here. When you go to Apple and you walk in and you check in and you put in your name and it checks you in for service, that is essentially what you're doing here. So it wouldn't be like a manual lead entry mode. The idea behind it is you have this up on an iPad or something if you have a physical location and they're coming in and they're checking in. So that would be what we would recommend to utilize this for. Randy, I think you were the one who asked about the vulnerable systems and missing patches by KB report. We definitely raised that, and I want to let you know, like, no promises, but it is something that they're looking into shipping a fix for today. I think it's safe for me to tell you that. So definitely raise the importance of that. So I want you to feel confident in knowing that and just keep checking back. And I think I had another one in here. Let's just find it. Okay, so Mark says we have a client with multiple sites. How do we set up separate sites under a client? Some sites have the same computer names, so we need to have them physically separated. So let me just share this. I'm going to first go into a customer. So I'm just going to type in Larry's name. And you can see when I search Larry's name up here and search all things, I am literally getting all the things. So I could quickly launch remote sessions. I could see a list of all of Larry's assets, his tickets, invoices, etc. from here. But I'm just going to click on Larry. And if I scroll down, close your eyes if you get dizzy real quick, I'm going to go down to my additional sites and addresses. And you can include multiple different sites and locations down here. When you're entering your contacts, you can also have those assigned to different places. And then you'll also see your assets. You could go into an actual asset and do it, but I'm just here on the view here. And what you can do is you can assign a certain location. So you can absolutely do that. If they have the same name, then this would be a way where you can separate that. And then you'll also see here, if you just want to look for a specific location's devices, then you can even filter there. So I hope that helps with what you're looking for. And the search box rocks. It sure does, doesn't it, Eric? And you know what? Something that's really cool, those little icons I showed you, the little quick icons, that came from our community-driven feature request list. So we do like a little, I think once a month, I think they're about to spin it up again. But we take quality of life features. So quality of life, not let's go ship, a Linux agent this week, right? It's small quality of life features, but it just makes your life easier and I can work more efficiently. So things like that are really important. And one of you guys who, I can't remember who it was, but someone who comes to open office hours pretty regularly actually submitted that. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Hannah, do you want to grab I didn't know the one, where would you enter prospects? Do you want to grab that? Is that what you were going to do?
Sure, yeah. So I can go ahead and grab that. And then I can also grab this one about the prorating licenses and the recurring invoices as well.
Oh,
And
that one's already been answered.
Oh,
Does
it did.
still show?
It does. No problem.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
if that's
weird.
just on
It
mine.
doesn't show on mine.
Good old Zoom.
I
Yeah,
love
no,
it.
no problem. Okay, Josh, where would you enter prospects? So a couple of things here. You can actually still use the lead entry mode. And so if you want to still just use that on your end, like someone calls you and they're going to be a prospect for you, you can still go ahead and use that here. You can also actually embed widgets on your website. So in the admin section, you can create custom widgets. And this is where you can embed these things on your website for someone to go ahead and click and enter information. And so in here, if I go ahead and run through this one just for an example, you can add in your different steps. So whether it's the customer detail, hey, they're entering their information, they want to book an appointment with you, they can have the issue detail. And even here, like this is where they can have a selection from your issue type dropdowns. You can even have them select from different custom fields to open inside the ticket when it opens. And so these are going to open tickets for you specifically, but they can also just generate leads. Another thing you can do is have a specific inbound email address for those leads. And so here down, sorry, I scroll fast. But in here in a mailbox, you can also just have these be generating leads for you. So someone could submit to sales at your domain or something like that and have it just create a lead for you. And then you can even customize a specific autoresponder that you're going to call them. And then a lot of our users actually use custom fields on customers to designate who is going to be a potential client for them or a lead. And so here in the custom fields, a lot of people have a customer type. Then they can designate a saved customer search for those leads and use the mailer to mail against them. So here, you can specify what kind of customer they are with you. So if they are just a lead, you are able to create a saved search for your leads. So here in the customers page, you'll have this magnifying glass. I can execute a saved search specifically for my leads. And where I can leverage this is not only in a list to see all of my leads, but you can also use it in the mailer. So if you'd like to set up a campaign against those leads, hey, these are my services, please call me to reach out, that you can go ahead and use that too. And then customize that with template tags and then be able to mail against those leads.
So funny. I was like, I always unmute and just like pause for a second. Then anyways, Christopher wants to know, can we add additional email addresses to customer contact info? Right now, there's only one email address per contact, right? The one thing that you can do is in like if you edit the customer detail screen, we do have now like where you can add additional emails if you have like an invoice email or something like that. On a contact, you also have, if anyone while I'm talking wants to show this part of a contact record, because we did just recently add a report to option. Like on a contact, you can have like I can't remember the actual, direct report. So you could add another, like, and I think this is, they have to be in the drop down list of contacts. Oh yeah, cool. You're showing it all. Perfect. So additional ticket matching email addresses, this would be like if they emailed you from like their personal email account, it would match it there. So hopefully, if that was what you were mentioning, hopefully that solves it. And then the direct report would be like if you have an organization where the employees need to have like their manager or something like that okay, or just be notified when they're reaching out to you, whether it's to approve something or just be aware that they're like reaching out to their managed service provider, you can have that direct report there as well. Thanks, Hannah. Appreciate it.
I know there's only one link in there. That's just the YouTube channel, but remember you've got 10 minutes. I don't think it'll take you 10 minutes to copy and paste that YouTube channel, but you've got 10 minutes, depends on how slow you're moving today on a Friday, to grab that link and save it.
Oh, it's quiet. I only got 2 responses from my hot dog sandwich question.
I know.
You get an uproar from the team Syncro.
I asked someone on a demo one time this question, and they said it's a taco. Absolutely.
It's a taco.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah, because if the sides,
no.
if the bun is still attached, like on both sides, they're like it's a taco.
Nuh-uh.
What
I have
other
strong
fun-
feelings about this, but I will keep them to myself just to keep it nice and light for our Friday.
Does that mean a hot dog bun is a tortilla?
Oh no!
Wait, didn't we do one like what is the ingredient that makes a salad, or what makes a salad? That one was
Yes.
So just so you guys know, our company culture is awesome. I'm sure you realize that, but everyone in the company, we meet once a month and we have these little icebreaker questions that everyone answers, and it's a lot of fun. So you know what? A good one would be if you guys want to contribute to our questions, why don't you give us a good team day question?
Ooh.
And we'll share the results one Friday.
I love it.
I love that.
One of the other ones that was like very controversial was how many holes does a straw have?
Oh, that was like my first ever team day, which was 2 years ago. Yeah.
My brain broke. We have a lot of really smart people on this team.
Absolutely.
I just say the first thing that comes to mind, and people have their whole scientific theory of why there's a certain number of holes or no holes or whatever it is.
There's at a certain point that Google just isn't going to help you in these types of arguments. Like you just really got to present your case.
There is a real question in here. So since nobody's helping us out, I'll go ahead and help someone out. Randy says, can you go over using tags in automated remediations? So yes, and tags are really great for anything. So I'm just going to pop open my automated remediations here. We can go into one here. So an example would be, whatever your automated remediation is. I could use tags in a ticket, right? Maybe I want to use my ticket number. I think that's one. So I could use ticket number, in the subject. I could also say, I want to use the tags obviously for a quick way for phone numbers. If I'm sending SMS messages, I could use the customer phone number here. But you could also say like customer name. Whoops, I know the name is in here somewhere. I don't know why it's doing this, but anyway, customer name, like I could grab I have one already built out, but customer name, like dear so-and-so, we have received your ticket number XYZ, whatever. I think usually people use these to pull in like fields for asset number, ticket number, contact information. You can even include like tech bio, like this technician name is going to be working on it. The goal here is really, we want to save you time. We don't want you to have to craft up this entire message. We want it to automatically populate that data each time without you guys having to do so. So you can use different template tags for tickets, estimates, invoices, all those different types of things. But even if you want to put in like charges and whatnot, you can do that in here. Custom fields, all the things. Oh, can you pass the tag into a script? So no, not in automated remediations, because the script here is all that you have the option to using, and I'm pretty certain in our PowerShell module, you can't use tags. Oh, you can.
Very
You-
like
Yeah,
yeah.
you can, because even our PowerShell module uses those. So let me just, you would have to edit the script first. So it's not going to be like an option on automated remediations to just like put a tag in. So you would actually have to, but yeah, because we use tags down here too. So you should be able to do it. I'm not a scripter.
If you hit that
But you,
script,
yeah, you can read and write to custom fields here if you want to do that. And there's different, but it's not like yeah, there's tags here.
Yeah.
So you could do it that way. Just not, I mean, it could be done through automated remediations if the script you're running is edited properly. Yes, you can do a lot with that.
Awesome. Yes, it is a sandwich since it has bread. I just like sandwiches.
Me too. And now I'm starving and I'm like, it's not even 10 o'clock. Whew.
Oh, I can grab this one at the top. Michael says, is it possible to add a $50 trip charge that would deduct against prepaid hours? So really good question. Very interesting to think about. So the trip charge dollar amount would not deduct against prepaid hours. And the reason for that is because the prepaid hours are directly set up in the Syncro system to counterbalance against any time tracked on a ticket. So what I mean when I say that, I'm going to try to keep it super quick, even though this is kind of like there's a lot of layers here. I'm going to try to keep it as easy to understand as possible. When you're setting up prepaid hours in Syncro, you want to make sure that the category here is prepaid hours. So whatever, if you want to call it block hours, no problem, call it that. The point is, when your techs are working any tickets, they do not have to think about, did this customer, are they paying with prepaid hours? Are they on an all you can eat type of model? Are we billing them per hour? What is the rate? It does not matter. All they're doing is they're saying, yep, I'm doing remote labor, go, tracking the time however they want to. And any time tracked on a ticket is always going to counterbalance against the prepaid hours that you have sold the customer earlier in the month. So if I have 2.5 hours here, the time has been tracked, there's a bunch of time here. If I go make invoice, again, you'll notice that as line items get generated here on a manual invoice, and this would happen in the same exact way on a recurring invoice. I won't cover that, but just trust me. Here it'll say, look, we applied 2.5 hours here. If we refresh this prepaid hour balance, it will go down to 0 now. So the reason the trip charge will not bill against hours is because it's more of like a time measurement that has a rate associated with it. Real quick, you can attach a trip charge to an appointment. And I will drop a link on how to do that because I know we only have 2 minutes left, but yes, attach a trip charge to an appointment and it will add it to the ticket that is getting worked on location.
Awesome. I was just going to super quick, Randy, can you change the value of a field through AT, do you mean AR, automated remediation? So I'm assuming that's what you mean. And if the script is pre-built to update a variable, then yes, it had, but like Randy said, it does have to be pre-built and then triggered from something with automated remediation. And see, these are the arguments. Because it has bread, is a bread bowl a sandwich? See, this is the argument. This is what happens.
Would pizza be a sandwich in that case?
No.
Like it has cheese
You
and
can eat
bread.
pizza like a hot dog.
No, a hot dog is not a sandwich.
You can eat pizza like a taco. You could fold it like that,
See?
and then like that, but it is not. It is not a sandwich. Absolutely not.
I guess we'll never know. It's one of the life's mysteries. Awesome. Well, I just yeah.
Oh no.
All right.
Oh, gotta go.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this Friday. Happy weekend. Again, if you're celebrating the 4th of July, happy 4th of July. Stay safe. Stay healthy. See you next week. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.